Washington politicians basically don't give a damn about you or me. They only answer to the billionaires and the giant corporations. And thanks to 40 years of Supreme Court decisions, American politics now is no longer about the will of the people. It's only about the money. And therefore, we no longer have a functioning democracy in America. We have a kleptocracy, an oligarchy. I mean, years of corporate-friendly Supreme Court decisions like Citizens United, Buckley, First National Bank. They've rigged and corrupted American politics so badly that average hardworking Americans have basically no influence in D.C. Instead, our, quote, elected officials, end quote, are only answering to the wishes of the rich people and special interest groups like the NRA, well-funded special interest groups. They published this study in a magazine called Perspectives on Politics. The authors were Martin Gillens of Princeton University and Benjamin Page of Northwestern University. And what they discovered was they were just looking at, what people wanted versus what got passed into law. And what they found was that when the wealthy elite or powerful interest groups want policy passed or not passed, it gets passed or not passed. Washington listens. But when we, the people, average working people, speak up, sound out about a particular policy or piece of legislation, like, hey, for example, extending unemployment benefits, our politicians completely ignore us. In Citizens United, John Paul Stevens wrote the dissent, as I recall. And he made a really important point. He said from the bench, and I quote, this is from the Citizens United dissent. He said, when citizens turn on their television and radios before an election and hear only corporate electioneering, they may lose faith in their capacity as citizens to influence public policy. A government captured by corporate interests, they may come to believe, will be neither responsive to their needs nor willing to give their views a fair hearing. The predictable result is cynicism and disenchantment, an increased perception that large spenders call the tune, and a reduced willingness of voters to take part in democratic governance. End of quote from the dissent in Citizens United. John Paul Stevens added, he went on to say, unlimited corporate and fat cap money would also scare the hell out of the politicians themselves, so they'd only do what the rich guys wanted, and to hell with the average voter. He said, quote, to the extent that corporations are allowed to exert undue influence in electoral races, the speech of the eventual winners of those races may also be chilled. Politicians who fear that a certain corporation can make or break their re-election chances may be cowed into silence about that corporation. End of quote. 4 years later, 4 years and 3 months later, we discover that Justice John Paul Stevens was totally right. In this study that Gillens and Page did, they wrote, quote, ordinary citizens have little or no independent influence on policy at all. They went on to say that the wealthy elite have, quote, a quite substantial, highly significant independent impact on policy, more so than any other set of actors. And special interest groups, if they're well-funded, quote, they have a large, positive, highly significant impact on public policy. They looked at over 1,700 issues over a 20-year period, which is about how long it's been. I mean, it's been a little more than 20 years since Buckley and First National Bank, since we first got this idea that corporations should have free speech rights. It's insane. It's killing our democracy.